By the end of this video, you're going to see 5 real ways people are using AI to build income on the side, including the exact one that took me from working 2 jobs in my late 40s to running my own digital product business. If you've ever felt like you're too old or too far behind to start something new, this video is for you. All right, let's dive right into the training. 5 Claude AI side hustles for beginners. Now, before we get started, everything in this video is based on research and my own personal experience, and none of it is a guarantee of what you'll earn. Results vary depending on your effort, your skill, and your experience. This video is for educational purposes only, and it is not financial advice, and any income mentioned is not typical. So now we got that out of the way, a little bit about me. If you're new here, my name is Judd Albring, and I help people over 50 turn their life experience into real digital products and income without all the tech overwhelm. And I've been doing this myself for almost a decade now. I'm now 54 years old, and I also run a community called Wisdom Creators, teaching people how to do this step by step. So the first side hustle is selling Claude skills or prompts. And the reason this works is that some of the best digital products right now are just a folder of instructions that get Claude to do one specific thing really well. So think SEO, blog posts, emails, content writing, and of course, creating digital products. I use Claude every single day for all of this, for my SEO, for my emails. It writes my YouTube scripts, creates digital products, does everything. Buyers download your file, drop it into Claude account, and then they can use the prompt to get the same results that you got without ever learning how to write a good prompt themselves. And your experience here, this is your advantage. And it's low tech. You do not need to code. You just need to explain a problem clearly and test it until it works. Also, your background is the product. So decades in any field gives you instincts about what a good result actually looks like. And the best part, you can do this on your own schedule. You build it once, test it when you have time, and you're not stuck repeating the same work for every single buyer. Now, here's a quick screenshot of some sample pricing of what AI prompts and bundles are selling for on Etsy. I'd also check Gumroad and do a simple Google search to see what the different pricing options are, but you can see they range greatly. Skills you need. First of all, you need patience. When it comes to writing prompts, it's not going to be perfect the first time, so you have to take your time with it, and the more information you feed Claude, the better, until you get it just right. Also, you want to have a clear writing ability when you are feeding prompts to Claude. A little bonus here is to get some sort of speech to text tool where you can actually just speak to Claude. It's going to save you a lot of time. And then a willingness to test, fail, and then adjust over time until you get it just right. Some quick pros and cons. Pros: one-time build with ongoing sales. There's no client calls, and you can get started with Claude using their free plan to do this. Now, one of the cons is the market is getting more crowded. So in order to stand out, I highly recommend niching down when it comes to creating prompts. So find one specific niche and stick with a prompt within that niche, within that business, serving one single problem. For an opportunity score, I give it a 7.2 out of 10. It is very accessible to start, but only pays off if your prompt pack solves real headaches, real problems. So not just something pretty and nice to have, it has to solve a real problem. And like I just mentioned, the more specific with your problem in that niche you can get, the better off you are. The next one is creating and selling digital products. And this one probably is my favorite. This is by far the biggest category on the list. You have Canva templates, caption packs, short guides, or even small online courses. Basically, any finished product someone can download and then use right away. You can use Claude to map out the structure and write the content, then list it on sites like Gumroad, Etsy, or like I do, inside a school community. And your experience is your advantage here. So whatever you've already lived through or figured out is exactly what someone else needs help with. You build it once. This is not like a physical product where as orders come in, you need to build the product. You build it once. Now, yes, you might make adjustments here and there, but for the most part, the product is complete. And one finished product can be sold to many different buyers instead of charging by the hour for a service. And there's no ceiling. Your income is not limited to one buyer at a time, though it still takes ongoing marketing to keep finding new ones. It's not like you create this product and then all of a sudden people buy it. You do have to market the product. Now, the skills you need to do this, picking a topic specific enough that people are actually searching for it. So do your research, go on to Google, look at Google Trends and see what's out there. See what other people are selling products just like this. Go to Etsy and do a search. Okay, so you want to see that it is actually a viable product. Being able to organize your content clearly and then being willing to put it out before it feels perfect. And that's a big thing that keeps people from getting started. So progress, not perfection. Some pros and cons. Again, you build it once, you can sell it to many different buyers instead of charging by the hour. Con, it usually takes longer to gain traction than a typical service, and you need some kind of audience to actually get eyeballs on it. But for an opportunity score, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is definitely the highest score on the list, and this is exactly how I built my own business over the last 9 years with digital products and primarily using YouTube to reach my audience. And I teach people how to create their very first digital product step by step inside my community, Wisdom Creators. So if you haven't joined us yet, click the link below the video in the description to join and create your first digital product. And at the time of this recording, guys, the group is free to join, so definitely jump on in. Idea number 3, write YouTube scripts using Claude. I have a couple people that write scripts for me and they use Claude, and the finished product is absolutely fantastic and it saves me a ton of time. So why does this work? Every YouTube channel needs a steady stream of scripts. This is one of the biggest struggles for YouTubers, is coming up with ideas and writing scripts. And most creators can move a heck of a lot faster with Claude, drafting the first draft of the script, then starting from a blank page and writing it on their own. You need to study channels' existing videos to learn their voice and the structure. Also, a little bonus tip for you, inside of YouTube, you can actually look at the transcript and download the transcript and feed that into Claude as well to get an idea of their writing style. And then you use Claude to draft outlines, which you could also present to the YouTuber, and you can of course create full scripts in that same style. Then you polish it before you hand it off. And here's a great story of Emma from the UK, who actually reaches out to YouTubers personally via email, talking about what she can do with Claude. And you can also kick it up a notch and create a sample script for somebody and just send it to them. Because you're using Claude, you can draft a sample script in a short period of time, send it to them. And your experience is your advantage. So you have years of job experience. You've spent years in the trenches, writing proposals, emails, and a heck of a lot more. You also have a built-in niche. Whatever you spent your career doing becomes a niche you can write for better than any generic freelancer. Also low tech. All you need is a document and a conversation with Claude. No editing software is required. Skills you'll need: studying a channel closely enough to match its voice instead of writing in your own voice. And here's a bonus tip for you. YouTube allows you, if you go into the description under the video and you expand the description, you can actually look at the full transcript, and you can take that transcript, feed it into Claude to teach Claude how to write in this particular YouTube style. And obviously being comfortable taking notes and taking feedback from the YouTuber. I grabbed this from an article from George Blackman. New scriptwriters commonly charge somewhere between $50 to $300 per script, depending on the channel size and niche. And of course, this could be less, this could be more, with experienced writers charging significantly more for established creators. So definitely check out this article from George Blackman. You can find it in Google, George Blackman, YouTube scriptwriting. Pros and cons: there is a constant demand since channels need new scripts every single week, actually should be more like every single day, and you can specialize in a niche that you already know. A con here is you're paid per script. So income, it depends on how many clients that you can take on. And you have to study someone else's voice instead of just writing in your own. This isn't like you just write a script for them, how you think it should sound and what you think would work. You have to understand the YouTuber's style, their tone, and their format to be a good YouTube writer. For an opportunity score, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Steady demand and decent pay, but it takes real practice to match someone else's voice well enough that they keep coming back. So if you can master that and you can find a couple YouTube that you can work for, this is a great opportunity because, again, YouTubers aren't writing just one script. They're writing multiple scripts. And if you guys want to grab my Claude script writing prompt that I use for my videos, as well as my script writers use, you can grab those inside of the Wisdom Creators community. I will put a link below the description here. Idea number 4, provide local businesses AI services. So why this works? Most small businesses, think gyms, restaurants, salons, they are drowning in emails, reviews, and content that they simply don't have time to write. And what you can do is you can look up local businesses on Google Maps. And what I like to do is when I'm looking up for these businesses, I like to click on their website and look for websites that look relatively older. Even better, companies that have no websites at all. And you can use Claude to draft a quick audit or even a sample email newsletter, then pitch that sample directly to the owner, either in person or reach out to them on social media or via email. And your experience is your advantage. So you have the trust factor. Business owners often trust someone who sounds like a peer, not some 20-year-old with an agency. Also, there is the potential for reoccurring income. This can be a monthly retainer. This is exactly how I got started. And I didn't have the AI tools that you have today, where I would charge small businesses a monthly fee to write content for Facebook and Instagram and write their emails and their sales copy. Reoccurring income, typically with businesses like this, you are charging them a retainer, a monthly fee. So this is not a one-time sale, although it can be. Also, you have the local advantage. You already know your own town and the businesses in it. You probably have friends and family who have small businesses, so you can reach out to your inner circle to get started. Skills you need: basic communication and comfort reaching out to strangers. This is definitely for someone who's a people person, because you're definitely going to have to knock on some doors, either literally or virtually. And of course, you need to be very organized and consistent. Pros, like we mentioned before, potential for reoccurring income. And then the cons, I think I just touched on that. You're going to be doing a lot of outreach, whether that's on the phone, email, knocking on doors. So if you're somebody who's not comfortable with customer service and sales, probably not the best for you. I give it a 7 out of 10. The reoccurring income is the big draw here, but it does take time to build up this business. And again, you're going to need to knock on some doors. And this is exactly how I got my start a little over 9 years ago. Before Claude and all these AI tools, I was offering digital marketing solutions to small business owners. And that eventually turned into the digital business that I run today. And I teach this entire process inside my community, Wisdom Creators. Now, at the time of this recording, it is free to join Wisdom Creators. So if you haven't jumped in and joined us yet, just click on that link below the video in the description. Creating digital worksheets and spreadsheets. So why this works? Printable planners and trackers are a bigger market than most people think. Most people would rather pay a professional than build a spreadsheet from scratch. And I can tell you from personal experience, it takes a heck of a long time to build a spreadsheet if you don't know what you're doing. You can ask Claude to write the content and structure for a budget tracker, habit tracker, or a simple workbook. Then clean up the formatting using a free tool like Canva. And your experience is the advantage. So low tech. If you've ever used a spreadsheet, you already have the skills. There's no back and forth with a client. You list it once and manage it from there. And your real experience helps. You've actually used budgets and spreadsheets and tracked goals for decades. So you know what works versus what just looks pretty. And Insight Agent has a great article on spreadsheets and selling spreadsheets using sites like Etsy and Gumroad. So definitely check that out. And the skills you need, obviously basic organization and Excel spreadsheet experience. And if you don't have experience in Excel, you can check out Udemy, which offers free classes and low paid options as well. As far as pricing, if you just head over to Etsy and type in Excel spreadsheets, Excel templates, and then filter by most reviews, that'll give you an idea of the top 5 types of spreadsheets that are selling and what people are pricing them for. Pros and cons. It's beginner friendly. It's an easy price point for buyers, and Claude does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to writing the content. The con, the margin per sale is small, so you need lots of value, and popular categories like budgeting can be very competitive. So for an opportunity score, I give it a 6.8 out of 10. It's a great starter project to learn the ropes. Just don't expect it to replace a paycheck on its own. And the key takeaways, guys, is that all 5 of these can be started today with Claude and no special technical background. None of these happen overnight, but all of them are doable. Pick the one that fits your own background and actually finish it. If you enjoyed that video and you're serious about getting started with AI and in particular using Claude to create digital products, start your own online business, then definitely check out my video up here where I go over 9 Claude prompts for creating digital products. And I even give you the prompts so that you can use those for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.